What do you think? What's the freak factor, Rocket?
Boom! Cutler said,
Your condition's decent.
what do you think it is, Jay? Boom! Coach Greg, in today's video, Sam Sulek's competing. I've already watched the video and could not believe it. Sam Sulek is going to win by a mile. Now, I thought he was ready, but I did not expect this. Wait till you see what Sam Sulek is looking like. It's unreal. First things first, Sam has to weigh in. Now, in open bodybuilding, he can weigh whatever he wants. But to make classic physique, and because he isn't over 6 feet tall, he's a little bit over 5'11", he has to weigh at most 217 pounds. And so if he's 217 and a quarter, he can't compete. Bye, there goes his dreams of an IFBB Pro card in men's classic physique. And so what did he do? Well, Sam, he's very intelligent. He's perhaps even smarter than you think. He did everything 100% bang on. He cut his carbs, he's not eating before the weigh-ins, and he's going to ensure that he does in fact weigh in at 217.
In my mind, I've been aiming for classic, but my height, unfortunately.
And so unfortunately, his height is, it's just holding him back. Sam is a short king. He's only 5'11". And so, it's so hard being Sam, being only 5'11". And so he can only weigh 217 pounds. I mean, imagine if you were Coach Greg. Remember the last show that I weighed in at? I had to weigh 185. I almost passed out. I could barely step on the weight scale. I was starving myself, not drinking any water, all to weigh in. And so what Sam has done is he's left his home and using his own scale, which you never know, it might in fact be off, he weighed 217. The weight he has to make at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, also 217. So assuming that his scale is not off, which sometimes it is, he should in fact make it. But I can tell you on average, the average person, even when dehydrated, continues to lose approximately 50 to 100 grams per hour. When that is through breathing out moisture, having that last tiny little bit of pee before going to weigh in. But I do think he's going to make it. But if he doesn't, well, he's prepared to compete as a men's heavyweight bodybuilder. But other guys who are also trying to compete at the Arnold Amateurs, he's going to have his work cut out for him. And so he definitely wants to make that weight class. 217 pounds and under. If Sam does in fact make it, well, look out.
Because on my scale, I did hop on at 217 at the house, so it's making me a little excited that everything's going perfectly to plan.
And so here's the thing. He's going to make the weight. I was a little bit nervous seeing as how much energy he had. After all, we hear him talking, speaking. Does it sound like he's slurring his speech? Does he sound like he's talking like Togi? It sounds like bro has a lot of energy. If I didn't know any better, I wouldn't even know that he had been dieting. He seems to be healthy, smart, intelligent, and so I'm certain he's not going to turk it up.
Now I don't feel like I'm walking around like, lightheaded, faintish. This isn't like a, like a UFC kind of thing where these guys lose like 30 pounds in 3 days.
Perhaps the UFC needs to hire Sam Sulek in order to make weight. Bro makes the weight and look at his condition. Wait for it. Foreshadowing, you're going to be mind blown.
Yesterday was probably my lowest calorie day ever. But that's just to make sure I can see if I can get this real dry, depleted starting position.
Upon drinking 12 liters of water and having his lowest calorie day ever, he then cut out the food, cut out the water, peed tons of water out, and he's now standing at 217.
I'll be filling back up, new glycogen, new everything, and that should be essentially my freakiest look ever.
Following the weigh-in at 2, he could perhaps drink some water, have some carbs, refill his frame a little bit, and by the time he sets foot on stage, he could weigh even more than 217. He possibly might even be 220. But typically what happens is you're probably going to weigh roughly the same, perhaps 1 or 2 pounds more, or even 1 or 2 pounds less, depending on how much you're dehydrating.
Last name, please.
Sulek. S-U-L-E-K.
S-U-L?
Yeah, E-K.
Hey, there you go, Sam.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Go ahead and have a seat and wait for orientation.
All right.
And remember, tomorrow you can't forget push-up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Immediately, they announced to him, Sam, tomorrow you can't have your camera. What do you mean? Now, Sam isn't saying that, but I'm saying, what are you talking about? Do you know the amount of exposure that Sam is bringing to your competition? You should be thanking the lucky stars that Sam is attending this competition. Everyone is going to want to watch this. If Sam films this competition and shows it on his YouTube channel, do you know how many people are going to be exposed to this competition, perhaps want to compete in it next year? It perhaps for many athletes is a dream come true. Do you really think that Sam's competitors are going to be thinking, oh, this isn't fair, I have to compete against Sam Sulek? Or are they going to be thinking, this is the greatest day of my life. Not only do I get to lose against Sam, perhaps I'll get to talk to him. Sam is backstage hanging with the athletes, filming the competition, and you get to compete with this guy. And so if I was the organization, I'd be saying, Sam, film as much as you want. What can we do to help you? This is bodybuilding. Sam, now that C-Bum is retired, is perhaps the most popular bodybuilder in the world. In the world! Now, yeah, I get it, he's not an IFBB Pro. But bro has more followers, more following than perhaps anyone. And what an amazing representation of the sport. And so, do we really want to hinder Sam's ability to market bodybuilding to the masses? Is that really what you want to do? Oh, Sam, you can't film. What are they talking about? If I were the IFBB, if I were running bodybuilding, I would be trying to get Sam to compete in everything. And here, Sam, here, film as much as you want. Here's a backstage pass. What more can we do for you? Can we give you a camera? Do you want our videographer? Does that make sense? And let me look at my history. What suggestions have I made to the IFBB? Change the weight classes for classic physique. Lower the weight classes for men's physique. We should decrease the amount of size in women's wellness. How has that turned out? All amazing suggestions. Oh, add another category so that women who compete in bikini, they don't need as much muscle. And what is my next suggestion? Men also need the same thing. Less muscle than currently in men's physique. And why don't we have a classic physique light for guys who are smaller, so that they don't need to abuse performance-enhancing drugs as much as they do right now. But no, we don't want to listen to Coach Greg.
The question's finally been answered. Did I make weight? Yeah, 216, right? So freaking perfect.
Sam, he did not weigh in as a 304. He weighed in at 216 pounds. And do you know, just coincidentally, that Mike Israetel was 217? And so Sam Sulek, who's about 5 inches, perhaps 6 inches taller than Mike, he also weighs about 217, 216 to be exact. But let us see the difference. And remember, Mike, he represents RP, that's really pale, otherwise known as Renaissance periodization. And Mike, well, he didn't have a proper tan, and with the proper tan, I'm certain he would have looked impeccable. Perhaps he would have won an IFBB Pro Carb.
Now we're just waiting to get tanned up because check-ins were 2.
And Sam, he's waiting to get his proper tan. But let us see. How does he look without a tan? No tan whatsoever. Not even a half tan. No tan, no tanning, nothing, not a pale skin. How does he look?
When we whip the camera out next. Maybe back up a little.
This is the last pale check-in. Let's see the level of freakness. Remember when I said to look away with Mike Israetel that it could cause permanent eye damage by looking at him? Let us compare Sam Sulek's pale physique to Mike Israetel with a tan.
Maybe back up a little.
And so Sam says, back up a little. Back up. Wait till you see what's going on. Many people have been criticizing Sam. Oh, he does his posing updates, only showing his upper body. Nick Trilogy from Bodybuilding BS, he stated this out exactly.
Well, someone better teach him how to pose because the poses you do on camera in the mirror don't translate to the stage. And I haven't seen any lower body shots or full body shots where he's like in trunks or underwear doing the poses. So his wheels are probably not up to par compared to his upper body. And I gotta say, his back is very weak.
Notice how he's only doing check-ins from his upper body. That means his legs are weak. Exhibit A.
What do you think? What's the freak factor, Rocket?
Boom! Quad stomp a la Jay Cutler style. And so Jay Cutler said,
Your
2
condition's decent, okay, good.
what do you think of this, Jay? Boom! One of the leanest pair of legs I've ever seen in my life. And he's an amateur in his very first competition. And Mike Israetel, he doesn't even have a proper tan. Holy mother Let's rewind this.
What's the freak factor, Rocket?
Can you believe it? Holy, putting Coach Greg's legs in the studio to shame with the Sam Sulek. Boom! Jay Cutler, stomp! Guys, his entire vastus lateralis completely strided from top to bottom. Even the vastus medialis, the teardrop strided. Bro is gonna win the overall. This is insanity!
Good? What do you think?
That's pretty freaky.
And so Sammy knows it. And so guys, let's see this. So what do you think? Even Sammy knows he's got the smile, the dopamine. This is what happens in peak week. No matter how lean you think you were a week out, if you do a proper peak week and you nail it, this is the results. And I don't want to freak you out too much more, but this is without the proper tan. This is peak paleness. Once he gets the spray tan on, once he carbs up, it's gonna be lights out. Sammy knows it. He knows. He's like, yeah. Trust me, when he's flexing in the mirror, this is the motivation that he needs. Every day he sees the work that he's put in, the starving, the dieting, the cardio, the biking, the training harder than last time for years. It's all culminated into this very moment. He's excited, he's ecstatic, he left no stone unturned. He documented his journey, he shared it to the world. No wonder he's the most popular bodybuilder right now on the planet.
Officially tanned layer 1. Feeling pretty freaky.
I mean, of course he is. Officially tanned layer 1, feeling pretty freaky. He is freaky. I mean, I get this. He's shocking even himself. I remember when I did my last competition and I was flexing in the gym and I was thinking, I can't believe that a human being can look like this, let alone that I look like this. You become so shredded that you don't even know what you're looking at. Sam went from being a bulked up 270 pounds. It's a lot. Now, 216 pounds. Let me do some quick math. That's 54 pounds that he's lost. It is shocking, guys.
Yeah. Who'd have thunk it? Man, who'd have thunk it? Finally actually made it.
And so he's saying, who'd have thunk it? Well, perhaps not everybody. My criticism back in the day was perhaps he'll never be able to compete. And why? Well, imagine the pressure. Everyone is expecting Sam not only to win, but to dominate. And so if he shows up half-ass, if he shows up looking all right, perhaps gets second place, people are going to think, well, you're a failure. You're Sam Sulek. How could you lose? Sam had everything to lose by competing and really nothing to gain. He was already a superhero in the eyes of everyone. And so unless he shows up with the freak factor, his stock, it actually goes down. He didn't care. He put his heart and soul into this, and he's going to shock the world.
Had nothing to eat so far today. Nothing to drink either, because I had to stay under that specific limit.
He hasn't eaten or drank anything today. He's about to start carbing up. He competes tomorrow. And remember, if he places in the top 2, which of course he's going to be competing at the Arnold Amateur. And at this competition, can he win? Well, based on his conditioning, his size, fullness, separation, I think he has an excellent chance of becoming an IFBB Pro card. The only thing that could possibly be standing in his way is that perhaps he doesn't have the perfect shape. The exquisite lines of C-bum, the barn door wide shoulders, and the minuscule size waist, the classic X-frame. We haven't seen him yet on stage, and perhaps he'll look better than expected. If he does, we may in fact see Sam as an IFBB Pro in a matter of weeks. And if he does turn pro, he gets to add 10 pounds. In amateurs, his weight category, it's 217, but as an IFBB Pro, it's 227. And so imagine next year, perhaps Sam Sulek adds in an additional 10 pounds of muscle and competes as an IFBB Pro. Doesn't everyone want to see that?
That does not mean I just get to grub on anything, right? There is a certain calculation of making sure you get enough carbs and whatever to actually, like, you know, fill up. Because I've got a lot of room. Like I was talking about in the car, I mean, like I'm as flat and carb depleted and dry as I can be.
Here's the thing. If Sam doesn't even eat anything, he literally just goes to bed and shows up like this, he's going to win. And so, yes, it's true. If you carb up effectively, your muscles will swell out, you'll look bigger, you'll have more vascularity and so on. But Sam has so much muscle that even if he shows up flat as a pancake, he's still going to win. In my last competition, ended up sick, was throwing up and so on. I couldn't eat anything. And so I competed 100% flat. I still ended up with 4th place. And why? Because I had a combination of size, definition, and so on that allowed me to get 4th place. Could I have looked better if I was properly carved up? Yes. But it wouldn't have been enough to beat Terrence Ruffin, a Mr. Olympia competitor. But it was enough to get 4th place. And so Sam, I can't see him screwing it up. Even if he went home and drank 4 liters of water and had burgers, fries, and so on, I still think he's going to win it. Bro is so shredded, but of course, he doesn't just want to do that. He doesn't want to show up at less than his best. And if he eats too many burgers and fries and water and has a bloated stomach and can't pull off a proper vacuum, it is going to hurt his scores.
I want to eat enough carbs to fill up and drink a touch of extra more water, because your glycogen, all that muscular, carbs and everything else, it's not just carbs. It's like a 1-to-1 or like a 1-to-3 or something of carbs to water. So there is going to be some extra hydration here.
And so what he means is to form glycogen, you need 3 grams of water for every 1 gram of carb. And so if he eats 100 grams of carbs, he needs 300 grams of water to form glycogen. So depending on how many carbs he consumes, you have to drink a certain amount of water to make sure that that forms as glycogen. And remember, he's still likely to continue peeing. And so he does need to drink some water. If he doesn't drink any water whatsoever, he would be in danger of cramping. That could be a detriment to his physique. Remember, if you end up cramping so bad that you can't flex your muscles, well, you're not going to win the competition and you may end up in the hospital.
Some of these rice cakes are about to disappear. It's currently 4:11. I am now in for the night, so I won't be leaving the house until we head down to get my 2nd layer of tan tomorrow morning.
And so in a matter of minutes, with this level of depletion, Sam Sulek should be feeling like $1 million. His veins should start flowing, expanding. He should get a sugar rush. By eating a few rice cakes, I would suggest he eats the entire bag. He's going to feel incredible. And I would recommend that Sam gets in about 1,000 grams of carbs, or maybe even more. You may think that that is a lot, but remember, he's 216 pounds. He's trying to carb up all at the last minute. I wouldn't suggest he does it all at once. He, for example, eats a few hundred grams of carbs, takes a rest, perhaps sleeps a little bit, and then continues to consume a little more. You go in the mirror, look at your stomach. Is it bloated? If it's not, keep eating. The more carbs you can get in, the fuller he will appear tomorrow.
I think I'm going to sleep very well tonight, so I'll see you tomorrow for show day.
If you want to look like Sam, ain't gonna happen, but you can make improvements using Turk Max as well as Geo2 Max. It's in stock this minute as I'm recording the video. Probably be out by the time this is posted, but it's not. Head over to my website, code Greg, 15% off. And remember, this is the authentic stuff from Uzbekistan. It's not the copycat cyanosis plant that many other companies are getting from China. And yes, it's third-party tested, proven that my competition, at least 9 of them out of 10, they all failed the test. And until next time, I am out.